Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's indoor adventure in Taking Strahd Seriously. Of course, we are being very spooky this Tuesday, and today is May 28th, 2019, and you are loved. It's a very important thing to remember. Other important things to remember are that we stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at twitch.tv/indooradventures if you are interested in watching us play live. If you, however, are on a backlog, you can check us out either on youtube.com/indooradventures, where we keep all of our VODs up for all of you in easy and convenient playlists. So, for example, with our Curse of Strahd game, we played Death House in February and then didn't pick this game back up until late April. So there was a little bit of a time gap. Twitch isn't going to have all that, but you can go to YouTube and check that out. Or if you go to any audiocast area, such as Podbean, Spotify, Apple iTunes, pretty much anywhere that there are audiocasts, you can find us at Indoor Adventures. That is all one word. We also have a Patreon set up, so if you want to join us on Discord or help support the show in any other way, Patreon is a good way to do that. Other ways that you can support the show, guys, did you know we got t-shirts? We got mugs. LB has made her own crop top out of a Blake t-shirt because we cannot make those on Streamlabs. But we also have our mugshots collection from Waterdeep. We got nice posters that you can barely see in my current screenshot, but trust me, it's there, of the Moon Maidens. We got lots of stuff that you can find at bit.ly/adventure merch, so be sure to go and check that out, so that way you can pick yourself up some handy dandy stuff. And in doing so, will help the overall production quality of the stream, which I'm very excited for. That is it for my merchety spiel. So, RJ, who you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and I'm playing Speedy, the... I'm playing Speedy, the human ranger. Wow. What did I multi-class into?
GB, what are you playing?
I'm Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern, and tonight I'll be playing Stetchen von Antiel, the Blood Hunter Knowledge Cleric.
All right, LB, who you playing?
I'm LBHackEmUp. I will be playing Silme, the wizard half-elf, as a PSA. I do have foster kittens next to me, so if you see me randomly get up, it is to save a kitten who has fallen off the bed. It is not a high bed. It doesn't happen very often. But if you hear squeaking, that's what it is.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I will be playing Kefris Malrezka, your local barbarian who is having quite a time in the lands of Barovia. But, Danae, who are you tonight?
Oh, I'm going to be your Dungeon Master tonight. Let's get it started with the recap. Last time, we met Stetchen von Antiel, a monster hunter's apprentice, haunted by a contingent of ghosts who followed his mentor into Barovia. He rescued a girl from drowning in Lake Zarovich, and with the help of a mysterious stranger in a red coat, he was able to enter Vallaki and deliver her to the Blue Water Inn. Meanwhile, Speedy and the Malrezka siblings, while on their way to question the coffin maker about the theft of St. Andrell's bones, came across a wagon belonging to someone named Ricktavio, with some sort of violent animal inside. They were also confronted by Izek, the captain of the guard, and Bartholomew's childhood rival, who dropped a doll bearing a strange resemblance to Irina. Stetchen, the Malrezkas, and Speedy all finally met when the coffin maker's home turned out to be a nest of vampire spawn. The fight was long and hard, and Stetchen nearly met his end when the mysterious red-coated stranger arrived and covered their escape. Now back at the St. Andrell's Cathedral, having returned the bones and restored the sanctity of the grounds, the group has finally had a chance to breathe. As the night passes, Stetchen becomes more acquainted with the Malrezkas, and everyone has a chance to rest. The cold, muted light of a Barovian morning touches the windowsills as one by one, everyone in the group awakens. What does everyone do on this fine Barovian morning?
Speedy is pushing off the ground and speed walking out the door.
Yeah, we'll get to Speedy in a second, but like, what's everybody else doing outside?
So did my sister and I end up sharing a room last night? Because I know that myself and Stetchen were talking and doing research stuff about what happened with me.
I'm pretty sure that Yeska set you guys each up with your own room. And Stetchen actually got stuck with a pew because Yeska has no idea who that is.
Silme will emerge from her room looking probably the worst you've ever seen her. Usually when she wakes up, like once she leaves her room, her hair's done, her clothes are looking good. Right now she has it pulled up into like what would be a ponytail, I guess, for the time. And she just looks like disheveled and a little like just out of it.
Between the three of them, who do you think would have woken up first, considering the events of the previous night?
Probably Silme, right? Because they stayed up later.
Yeah, she went to bed first.
Yeah, so maybe she gets up and sits down at a pew and maybe tries to pray. I mean, there's no breakfast, right?
I think that Yeska actually would be wandering around with a basket with muffins and just kind of like passing it around to whoever happens to be there that morning.
Okay. I think that if she has a moment with him, she would maybe pass along a piece of jewelry that she's wearing, something to help him out in the church because he's doing so much good work. She doesn't have a lot of cash, but I'm sure she has some sort of, at least some jewelry that's worth something.
Oh, that's really nice. That's awfully charitable of you. You can have 2 muffins.
Oh, I don't need 2 muffins. They're high in calories. Empty calories.
And as you're saying that, all of a sudden, Irina's door busts open and she just goes storming out.
I will go after her since she's
Bartholomew is actually like in pursuit of her, pretty close behind. And she will whirl around on him and say, "Whatever joke you are pulling here, it is not funny."
I'm not pulling any joke.
Where did you hear that?
I don't know.
Where did you hear that name?
It slipped out.
Are you working for her?
Who?
The devil. She is the only person who has ever called me that.
No, I'm not working for her. I don't know. It just slipped out. I don't know where that came from.
Never call me that again.
Okay. I'm sorry. If I offended you in any way, I didn't know.
I know this might be hard for you to understand, but I do have feelings. And she's going to go back into her room and slam the door.
When the door slams, Stetchen sits up and it's like...
Up out of the pew.
Yeah, his hair's all wonky, no hat. He's got his hand crossbow out. And... are they breaking in? What's going on?
No, someone's just upset. You may return to your sleep.
Oh, sure, I got 2 bucks.
Silme will stand up gingerly and brush off her dress and sort of walk slowly over to to our friend Speedy. So, that was a thing. You alright?
I'm confused.
What happened, if I may ask?
He looks around. Called Maria someone else's name in the morning. I said good morning. I greeted her. And I need to take a walk.
Darling, you never want to do that. It's best to stay with dear, or, I mean, if there are multiples names that you need to remember, stick with Sweetie or Beautiful.
I am not familiar with her in that sense.
Oh, okay. Well then, it seems like she was upset about it, but perhaps it's something she'll get over quickly.
Speedy nods his head and starts walking towards the front door.
We'll see you later then.
Is your dog coming with you?
I'll leave Tyr.
Okay. And so you do. Where are you going to go?
Home.
Okay, that's fair.
I haven't been back. They know I'm here, so it'd be weird if I didn't show up.
Yeah, that's fair. Being influenced by real life experiences. You gotta go home and see mom.
God damn it.
All right.
That's it. He takes his crossbow, puts it right under his chin. I'm out, guys. Goodbye.
Pops through his skull.
Sorry. I got some coffee down the wrong tube. Okay. Kefris, you awaken to some sort of commotion going on outside.
I am very tired. I stayed up way later than I should have after such a big day. A little bit of a headache, but that's to be expected at this point. And I open up the door and just kind of peek out. Or, like, I'll listen in at the door, because this might not involve me necessarily.
Yeah, I think that you managed to peek out the door just in time to see Irina slam her door and watch Bartholomew kind of dejectedly go out by himself.
Oh, brother.
I point towards where Speedy is walking away. Just.
Well, I don't want to gossip, but apparently Speedy called her the wrong name when he woke up. Yes.
Why didn't he just say dear or sweetie?
That's what I was saying. But he said he doesn't know her in that way. So, I mean, there was a child in the room.
That's fair.
Nope, I'm not going to say that. That was an LB thing. That was an Silme thing.
Okay. Let's not unpack that. Let's put it in a small box in the way. Well, nice in the courtyard, this. Whatever that means. But
would you like some coffee?
Yes, I think that would probably be for the best. Is she all right?
I think that she's upset about it, but I don't think that it will cause her. She went back in her room, not stormed out. So I think that you shouldn't be climbing that kitten. Don't make me do it.
I thought that was you talking to me for a quick second. I was like, I'm very confused. You've never called me kitten before.
It's a weird thing to call you. It was awesome. Your brother.
There's a itty bitty grate there, and she's climbing it like, yeah, right.
Like that.
Yes. Yes, but I think we should figure out what we're going to do for the day.
Well, we talked about it yesterday, really. We need to find out where to go with the cards that we got.
Right.
Speedy knows the land. Stetchen knows the land. If
And I heard coffee. And he walks away to go find the coffee.
and they're both gone.
He's very impolite. I don't like how close he gets before speaking. He doesn't quite understand boundaries, does he?
He does not. But after talking with him last night, you can kind of see why.
Hmm?
I don't think it's not necessarily that he doesn't understand. He just doesn't have time to care.
Oh.
He always has those voices, those spirits talking at him, yelling at him, telling him to do one thing or another. If you have to mind your own social boundaries while also minding the boundaries of all of those yelling voices, well, it's easier to just not care.
I suppose. We should check to see if Maybelle has returned.
One of us should stay here, just in case, and seeing as how the other two have already gone, and you need to go find Maybelle, I'll stay at the church.
Okay.
Or at least feel comfortable here.
Good. All right. I can do that. I can go about town by myself.
And sister.
Yes.
And he just gives you this very weary look. And he says, remember what Jeska said about witchcraft.
Right.
Please.
Of course. Well, I'm not going to just do it in the streets.
And he just gives you another look.
Okay. If I was able to hide it from you for however long I was hiding it from you, I think I can hide it from this bunch. Probably not the right thing to say. Sorry. It's been a night. It's been a couple days.
We just need our coffee is all.
Right. Well, I'll pop back. Maybe grab some food to go. There's muffins, but nothing really sustainable. So.
I'll take anything I can get at this point.
All right. Will Speedy be coming back?
Did he leave his dog here?
Yes.
And I assume he's... Wait, no, he left the village the first time without his dog. That's actually a really bad indicator of whether or not he'll return. I hope he returns.
Me too. I enjoy his company.
I've grown to appreciate it.
Well, I'm off. My big day on the town by myself. All right. Well, I'll pop back as soon as I know if Maybelle has returned or not. And hopefully when she returns, my hair won't look as gross as it does.
3 sugars is not too many. Shut up. He says to no one, honey. We were going to get a little girl we rescued yesterday from drowning.
You were going to go speak with her?
I think I will try to, if they will accept her here, I will bring her here. It seems safer than a tavern for a little girl.
This is safer, not just more so than a tavern. This is a safe place.
Consecrated ground, since you brought the bones.
Kefris just nods.
Right. Well, what tavern is she at now?
The one tavern in town.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think there's only one.
It's called the
Blue Water Inn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's where I'm going. Would you like to come with me?
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you.
All right. Kefris? Goodbye.
And he snaps his heels together, gives you a curt bow, and then puts out a hand.
Ooh.
Okay. And they very gentle folkly walk out of the place.
Yeah.
As you turn around, Kefris had a nice smile on his face, but as soon as both of your heads are turned, it just goes back into more of like a somber expression.
Resident sad boy Kefris. All right. So Station and Silme are going to head off towards the Blue Water Inn. Let's catch up with Bartholomew real quick. You're headed home?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as on your way home, you'll notice that the guards are kind of scrambling in a weird way. They're all kind of like jogging to various positions rather than walking kind of lazily as they normally do. Like something seems to have them a little bit agitated.
If one of them passes by me and he doesn't look like a particular asshole,
Yeah.
What's happening?
No concerns, citizen. You stay right where you are. He like salutes and keeps on running.
So should I just stand here or?
I mean, go wherever you were going. He turns around, yells at you as he's kind of jogging backwards. Go wherever you were going or whatever. Just don't do anything weird. He turns around and runs.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I think he remembers what happens last night. Starts hurriedly walking back home.
Yep. And so you go and you open the door to your house, and your mother doesn't even look up from what she's doing. She points a crossbow at the door, and then she looks up, and then she goes, "Oh, Bartholomew, it's you." She puts the crossbow down.
Sorry, I didn't come in last night. I was at the church.
Whatever you choose to do at night is up to you. I'm trying to give you more space.
Like, eyes her weirdly. I'm not trying to work this out right here now, guys.
What happened to escapism? Where is it? We are homeowners and small business owners on Monday night. We don't have to go home if we don't want to on Tuesday. So there.
Yeah.
Tries to get out and they just pull him back in.
Okay, Bartholomew and Justice are not the same person. That is established. We will continue. Your father and I have been talking. We've been talking about how you need to have more space. It's fine. You have your new friends. You can hang out with them, whatever, you know.
Hey, friends is a very strong word. They hired me on.
Well, you know, that's how it starts, and then one thing leads to another, and then you're dying for each other and getting married. Did I ever tell you about how my father and how your father and I met?
Something about hunting in the moonlight, and he caught like a wolf to the shoulder, and you held him, and your eyes locked, and there was like, Papa.
It was something like that, yes.
Yes, I remember.
There is something different about you. She just kind of squints at you.
I mean, I might need a change of clothing.
She'll walk up and kind of like put a hand on your face and be like, did something upset you?
A little. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Who do I need to murder?
Nobody.
I have a crossbow. I can do it. No one will ever know.
House Petrovich. I can do it. No one will ever know.
I love it.
No, I upset one of the people at the church, that's all.
One of the people at the church. What did your uncle have to say about it?
I don't think he knows. It was fairly early in the morning. A few a bit ago.
And she kind of gives you like this look where she's not like, this is different. This is weird and kind of putting her off a little, where it's kind, she's not used to seeing you unsettled by anything. And she just kind of shakes herself out of it and will walk back to her station and continue to like use a knife to scrape the fur off of a hide. And she will say, "You notice that the guards are scrambling like a kicked hornet's nest."
Do you know anything about that?
I do not, but I believe something must have happened last night.
No.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, now would you?
What? Me? No, I'm gonna go get changed now. See you later, Mom.
And she just watches you as you walk by, like her eyes just constantly on you, and you can feel them just burning into the back of your head as you go up the stairs to your room.
He has like 1,000-yard stare as he's walking, like just away from her.
Mm-hmm. All right. Back at the Blue Water Inn. Steshin and Silme, you also notice that the guards seem a little agitated, kind of running around and scrambling in a kind of agitated fashion. And when you enter into the doors of the Blue Water Inn, the first thing you notice is that there is a crowd gathered around a table. And like just hunters and other patrons of this inn are like standing around a particular table. And every once in a while, like they react as though something has happened. They're all like, "Oh!" And you can see like something moving around on top of the table. And as they like people move around the table to get a better look at what's going on there, you see that there is a girl who is standing on top of the table and just kind of walking around, and every now and then she will crouch down, pick something up off the table, and then you can hear her small voice say something, and then everybody reacts as though, you know, she laid down a sick burn of some sort.
Is it the little girl I rescued?
Yes, you recognize her. She's wearing brightly colored clothes. She has darker skin and long, dark hair that's kind of curly. And she's got a headscarf on. And she, like, as you approach, you can hear her saying something along the lines of, like, the traitor. And then she points at somebody in the crowd. She's all like, "Oh, you're cheating on your wife." And then like everybody goes, "Oh!" And then like starts hitting him. And he's all like, "What? No, I'm not doing that. No."
Iron 808, thank you for the follow.
Yay, thank you.
Yes, GB, would you like to show people what happens when you're on the show and we get new followers?
Guys, I gotta say, I got to do this in person. It's amazing. It's so much better in person.
That's right. I needed to ask you, LB, can I send out that picture of you in the studio?
Yeah.
I always ask permission, but anyway, when someone's new and follows when I'm on the channel or on my shows, I take this maul and I hit that guy in the face.
Ding.
That's for you.
So satisfying.
Yay.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
And yes.
I was just gonna say, Silme's gonna lean over to Stetchen and just say, is this, what is she doing?
I think she is fortune telling.
Is that considered witchcraft here?
Or pickpocketing. It depends. If you are Vestani, no. It is a part of life. If you are not, if they don't like what you say, maybe they burn you.
Oh, good. All right.
And as you guys are having this exchange, you can see laid out on the table, it's just an entire Taroka deck, like all individual cards just laid out on the table face down. But they're all kind of like wrinkled and bent as though they've been soaked recently.
Mm-hmm. Silme's gonna step forward and say, "Can you read my future?"
And the girl will turn around, and her hair kind of flips as she does so. She's got a very theatrical, theatrical movements. And she says, "Only if you pick a card."
The one in the middle.
And she will kind of bound over to it and pick it up. And she'll look at it and say, "The wizard." And then she kind of like puts it on her forehead and like looks at you. And she says, "You seek power and knowledge. You like to cast magic and read books."
Aye, that's an interesting trick you have. Silme turns around and goes upstairs.
I mean, call it a trick if you want. It's really just up to chance. And she'll put that down, and she'll pick up another card, and then look up at Station and be all like, "Oh, the bishop. You have a strong moral code, and you're willing to do anything so long as it's for the greater good." And she kind of looks at the card again, and she's like, "Oh, and you're the person who rescued me."
Yeah, that is true. And he takes and, tips his hat and takes a big bow, and then realizes that he had his hat on inside, and he kind of, and then he reaches down and clips it to his belt. So manners are preserved.
"Well, I really appreciate that." And she bows back at him. And whilst she's still bowed down, she starts scooping up cards into a pile. And she will like start cleaning up all the cards off of the table, and a couple of guys will start pushing cards towards her to help out with that. And she's like, "Well, my cards are almost dried out, so it looks like it's about time for us to leave."
For who to leave?
"You and me, we've got to finish the job, right?"
Of course. He just answers, maybe a ghost told him that this would happen or something.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, but a job is a job, and I believe in your powers.
Well, that's awfully generous of you. You rescued me, so you're going to have to return me to my people. My dad and my uncle are probably going crazy worrying about where I am right now.
Fair enough. And he puts a hand out to her since she's still on a table.
Mm-hmm. And she'll just grab onto your hand.
He like whooshes her down.
Yep. And she's very graceful. Like, she's 7 years old and kind of gangly, but like she carries herself with the gravitas of a person like 3 times her age. Silme, you're doing what I think you're doing upstairs, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing if Maybelle's back, and if she is, I'd like her to fix my hair, please.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to roll me a D100, actually.
Okay. I don't like that. Use my spirit dice. Hopefully it's not terrible. It's a 16.
Okay. All right, so Station, as you help her down from the table, suddenly the tavern is interrupted by an ear-piercing scream from upstairs.
Is it me?
To the rail, jumps as many stairs as he can, and begins upstairs.
As soon as Maybelle got back, she just started screaming and would not stop.
Has this happened before?
No, it is not.
She's gonna try and console her. What's wrong? What's wrong?
Okay, she stops screaming and then she just sort of falls over. Her eyes are wide open. She's just like, I imagine you catch her, but like she's just like catatonic. Like she's not moving. She's stopped screaming, which is an improvement, but she's also like, she doesn't seem super okay.
Okay,
Door bursts in.
All right.
He checks the top corners and
Right.
oh, you slayed the demon. Oh,
no,
good.
no, it's not a demon.
Oh, what is it?
It's my companion. You need to go get Kefris, please.
You're safe with whatever that is?
Yes, this is my companion.
Okay. I would return. And his weapons just disappear below his duster, and he coat flourishes as he whoops out the room, and he's off to get Kefris.
And she'll lay Maybell on the bed, and like, is her forehead hot? Like,
No, it's cold. It's very cold.
Like, oh no. I'm just gonna do a medicine check on her. I don't know. This isn't my area of expertise.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
Ooh. Medicine. So it's a +1. It's a 10.
10?
Yes.
Okay. She is cold. Like colder than like a person should be. And she's very pale. As though like she's had like some sort of shock. And just as you're getting ready to like, start checking for vitals and things, she suddenly just like shudders back to life, and like grabs you. And she's like, "Oh, Miss Silme!
What's wrong? What's wrong? Are you all right?
Oh, am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Oh, I couldn't go anywhere, Miss Silme. I was trapped here. I couldn't leave."
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
And she's just kind of like feeling her own face and like, just like checking herself out to make sure she's like, here
there,
for real.
Well, where did you go? What, you weren't here. You weren't here.
There's just so many people here. They're all trapped and they're all screaming. They won't stop screaming, Miss Silme.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. And she's just gonna embrace her and like comb her hair and like try to comfort her the best she can.
Yeah, she's still cold. Like, but once again, it's an improvement.
Yeah. Is there a fireplace in the room?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm willing to believe that.
Okay. I don't have any fire spells that I would think would be good to use in this situation, except for my big one. But that'd be a lot. So when she's calmed down a little bit, I'm gonna try and light the fire so she can warm up, and I'm gonna like wrap her in blankets and just sit with her and brush her hair and comfort her the best I can.
Okay. All right. So that happens.
Thanks, D100 dice.
Should we play this out? Do you want to like have this scene where Steshin comes bursting in and grabbing Kefris and running out the door again, or shall we just jump ahead?
Just a couple quick details. One, as he's crossing, he goes, "Oh, I thank you," to no one. And then he's like, "I almost forgot." And he puts his hat on. And then 2 steps later, he's at the door. He opens the door and then takes his hat back off and clips it. And then he's like, Kefris, your sister, she needs you. Her familiar imp thing is frozen or something. Come on."
Rude.
And he doesn't know.
I was going to say, I was going to check in on our dear friend Irina.
We should probably have that scene.
Yeah, I'm like, she went off in a bad way. I was
Alright.
just chilling at the church. I was gonna see how she was doing.
Okay.
'Cause
All right. Let's
having a
jump
bad
back a few
time.
minutes then.
Yeah.
How are you going to approach this?
I am going to versus yesterday where we just kind of kicked the door open and said, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Seeing that she is upset, I'll just give a very gentle knock on the door but before doing so, I take a deep breath and try and get a smile onto my face. Just so that way I can at least seem confident in this situation, or at least not as troubled as I really am, but just a light.
All right. And how soon after this would you say? How soon after the events of this morning would this be?
This is as soon as everyone else is out the door. I basically watch Stashin and Silme leave. I get a somber expression, deep breath. Well, look, I got a smile, and then knock on door.
Immediately went over there. Okay. So knock on door, you hear. Who is it?
It's Kefris. Is it all right if I come in?
You may.
And he will open up the door and kind of poke his head in first. And then just... Is everything all right? And then open the door up a little bit more, come in, close the door behind him.
She... Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
That is a not very good number by any means, but an 8.
Okay. She seems a little guarded. And she's just kind of wiping her face as you walk in. She's all like, "No, I'm not doing very well. No."
And he will, if she's sitting, like, is she sitting on the bed with, I'm assuming the youngling is still there, the child that we brought in?
Myrtle is sitting kind of cross-legged on the bed, and she's just holding a doll in her arms. And that doll has like a weird resemblance to Irina, and she did not have that before. But Irina's just kind of standing in the middle of the room with her arms crossed.
And he will, he'll go over and he'll take a seat next to Myrtle. And he looks up at Irina and says, "To be honest, I don't think that a lot of us are doing well here." And he kind of moves his hair back a little bit to point to the 2 vampire bite marks that he has, as well as flexes his hands a little bit to show off the gecko bits.
That is fair. And she will tentatively go and actually sit on the bed next to you, and she'll just kind of like turn towards you and cross her, like sit crisscross applesauce on the bed. But and she's not making much eye contact. I need to be distracted. Tell me more about the world outside of Barovia.
The world outside of Barovia. Well, here. How about, I'll teach you something. Keep your hands busy as well as your mind. And he'll undo his Ilmatiri cords. And he will, he'll just lay them out, and it'll show, like, all of the, basically all of the rope burns that he has given himself over the last 2 days. As well as areas where the skin is broke, and everything like that. And he says, so just follow the rope, okay? And he's just going to start binding up his arms. just very slowly, so that way she can help in certain areas for a more complex knot. And he says, I'm going to be honest, when I was growing up, I didn't appreciate a lot of the sights and a lot of the sounds that I was around. The world outside Barovia is bright and beautiful and vibrant, but I don't really think I appreciated it as much as I do in hindsight. We had a dog. He was small, he was a mutt, and my father loved him, and he let us name him. So, 2 young children naming a dog, me and my sister, we named him Spaghetti, as one does. And Spaghetti was a good dog. We didn't ever take him hunting. He was never in any sort of danger. He just lived a life of luxury. And we lived very comfortable as well. And we had people who worked for us. You've met Maybell. And we always made sure that they were comfortable as well. And then when I got old enough, and he finishes the ropes on one of his arms. He says, when I was old enough, I followed my father's footsteps, and I joined the church. I wanted to be a doctor. It turns out that you need good grades, and you need to pay attention. My want to help people was there, but he holds up his hands and they shake just ever so. He says, wasn't really in the cards for me. But I learned a lot. The temple was beautiful. There were so many people that came in. There were elves and dwarves, occasionally a goblin. They were wonderful folk. And then there were others who weren't as wonderful, but we did our best to make sure that they were comfortable in their suffering. Whether it was a broken bone that needed to be set, whether it was mourning the loss of a loved one. The Church of Ilmater made sure that you knew that your suffering wasn't your own. That others suffered too, and that they could be a support. They could help. And he finishes the second set.
And she has very deft, strong fingers as she helps you with knotting these cords. And as you finish that up, she kind of just looks down at them and says, what is the purpose of these?
The purpose of these, and he'll just start undoing one of the arms that they just got done doing. And he will start putting it on her arm. And he says, the purpose of these is, in the same way, if you forget something when you go to the store enough times, you think to yourself that you should put a small band of rope around your finger, so that way you don't forget it the next time. These ropes, they act as a reminder for all of us that just because we are in a good place at the time, there are still others that are suffering, that are going through hardship. Now the cords, and as he's tying them, and he gets to one that is about midway up the forearm, he says, this knot represents tradition. It is the building block for all of the other cords that you will see along my arms. And it is our tradition as members of the Ilmatiri to make sure that those that we hold dear are taken care of, and those that we don't know should still feel peace, should still feel at ease. And he continues to tie, all the while saying it, continues speaking, gets to the second major knot, and he says, this one is for... I was really bad at my studies. But this one is for devotion, in that regardless of how much pain you feel, regardless of how terrible things might be, it's all connected. It's all part of a much larger plan. And that's why, and he pulls the cord a little bit, and that knot just digs in right under the elbow. So it's more of like a funny bone. That's why that one hurts the most when you pull the cords.
Yep, she winces.
And then he ties the rest of the way up her arm, and he says, and the third one is for community and for understanding. And that is the easiest knot to make, or the hardest knot to make, but also the easiest one to break. Because as soon as you lose your trust, as soon as you lose your community, everything else that you've built will be for nothing. And he cinches the top of the rope off.
And the entire time she's just kind of watching really thoughtfully. And she looks up at you and says, you seem to have a lot of devotion.
In a place like this, it's all I really can have.
And she kind of looks off to the side with a half smile. And then she looks at you with a furrowed brow and says, what is spaghetti? And at that moment, that's when Stashin bursts into the room.
And
spaghetti is a...
your sister's imp familiar thing is half frozen to death. And
she has an imp familiar? Did she not listen to what I said about magic in town?
It has horns and it's female form. Come. And he's like grabbing your cords and tugging them like
it's
you
just
have to
one arm of them as Irina has the other. And he'll just say, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'll stay here. And she looks a little sad as you leave.
And he'll just kind of pat her on the shoulder where the top of the rope is up on her arm, and then he'll continue out with Stetchen being pulled because my sister summoned a horned creature into the middle of the city, apparently.
Immediately after you told her no witchcraft.
Sounds like
Maybell
some
only
magic.
has one horn, by the way.
She does only have one horn. That is the truth.
I know I've asked this before. Singular, or is one broken, or she cut him off?
It's sawn off.
Okay.
The other one,
All right.
like just flat, like Hellboy.
Boy, perfect. Okay.
And like they're small. They're kind of it's not they're small. All right. Jump back over to Bartholomew. What are you getting up in your room?
Could we say that I have a stash of bolts in my room?
Sure. Yeah, I'm willing to entertain that.
Okay. He grabs like 10 bolts, a change of clothing, probably some dog treats for Tyr
Oh, that's adorable.
because she hasn't eaten. Fuck. Yeah. He throws that stuff in a rucksack, slings it over his shoulder, and starts heading back downstairs. I'm gonna be heading out. I'll be in the city.
Bartholomew,
Yes, Mom?
there have been whispers of vampires inside the walls. You know anything about that?
Maybe.
She's gonna roll her eyes and then say, Bartholomew, come over here.
He walks over.
You remember what I've always told you?
You've told me a lot of things over the years.
The thing about vampires in particular. About one vampire in particular.
If
You know
I
what?
see the demon, run.
Yes. With that in mind, she's going to reach over and pull open a drawer. And she will reach inside with some equal parts disdain and gravitas, as though she respects but also kind of hates the thing that's in here. She lifts out a silver dagger, and she's going to hand it to you. Take that.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't thank me for these. And then she'll turn around and get back to work. I love you, Bartholomew.
Love you, mother.
All right, and you head on out.
When do we get to meet Speedy's mom?
Why? I mean, Bartholomew can introduce you to Speedy's mom. That felt weird to say.
That was a little...
Speedy can introduce you to his mom. How about that?
Better.
Eventually. I had planned on it.
All right.
Sorry to interrupt your, courtship, but come. And he's still pulling Kefris across.
Yeah. Okay. So you drag Kefris through the city, and once again, you can see those guards kind of scrambling, a little less frantic now. And give each of you give me a perception check.
All right. Here's one for Kefris. So perception. Well, that's a 13.
13. Okay.
I'd rather be.
He just has so many dice.
As we see the guards, I don't notice because I pull my coat closer, kind of around my neck, and I'm still trying to hold my coat around my neck, keep my hat on my head, and pull on Kefris at the same time.
All right. So as you drag Kefris through the streets, Kefris, you take one last look over your shoulder, and you notice that there is that large man that you saw last night who accosted Bartholomew, and he's just walking down the street, and he's flanked by like 5 or 6 guards.
Does he seem to be coming at me, or just like minding his own business?
He's going about his own business, man.
All right, cool, because I don't want to fuck with that guy. He seemed really big.
Yep. And then you get dragged around the corner and you lose sight of him. Silme, meanwhile, what have you been doing with yeah.
I've tucked Maybelle in, started the fire, gotten her some hot water, some tea, trying to warm her up. I'll probably like get in the covers with her and try and warm her up.
And as you're like the roles have kind of been reversed here. She keeps on saying, I'm fine, Miss Silme. I can make the tea. And she keeps on trying to get out of the bed.
You sit down.
Shove her back in. She's slowly kind of like turning back into her old self, but she's still pale and she's still cold. You're so busy running around the room and taking care of everything that you don't notice the girl sitting on the chair in the corner, just kind of flipping through Taroka cards. And finally she speaks up and says, "Ooh, the liar."
Well, darling, you cannot sneak up on people like that.
I didn't sneak anywhere. I've been here the whole time.
She looks at Maybell.
Maybell just shrugs.
Right. You are welcome to stay in here. Are you hungry? Do you need anything?
Actually, yeah, I'm famished.
All right. Well, here is a silver piece. You can go get yourself something.
You know, honestly, the people that run this place are so nice and have such bleeding hearts. I think that I could probably get something for free.
Right, but that's probably not the best thing to do if they're being nice to you, and you can pay them.
She's gonna hop down and just kind of pocket that silver, and be all like, "Do you guys want anything?"
Maybell?
Oh shit, I'm Maybell. God.
I'm fine, Miss Silme.
Thank you, Justice. Oh, I'm fine, Miss Silme. I don't need anything.
Would you mind getting her maybe some hot soup if they have it?
Okay. And she just like gives, like, she just kind of smiles at you guys and then she leaves. Like that kind of smug, like, "I know something you don't know," or like, "I know something that you're trying to hide."
I don't know if I like that child.
And as you say that, you realize that she left a card on the chair that she just vacated. And it is the 7 of glyphs, and it says the charlatan.
I don't know if Sylvie would know what that means. She's just going to exactly. Perhaps I and then she'll just go back and she'll get under the covers with Maybell and try to warm her up more.
Okay. Station, you and Kefris come bursting back into the tavern.
Upstairs in her room.
Well, there's not an angry mob, so that's a good start.
And you kind of like run past the little Vistana girl as you are going up the stairs and she's heading down the stairs. And she's just like, "Hey there."
And
Hello.
I watch her to make sure she doesn't pickpocket me while I think about pickpocketing her.
Amazing. Yeah, no, she doesn't do that.
It was unconscious when I left, lying on the floor.
And then when you come skidding into the room, there's Maybell sitting in the bed and Silme standing over her with like a hand on her forehead.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that you had said that you had crawled into bed to help warm her up.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm
it's
just like
two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Come skidding into the room, and Silme and Maybell are in bed together. You said it, not me.
I open the door and just, "What's the? I am so sorry," and I will close the door again.
Kefris!
It isn't what you think, Mr. Kefris.
No, please come in. No, wait.
Right. The conversation we had the other day was about
Stitcher
magic usage,
removes
not
his
about
hat
that.
and bows.
Maybell's trying to get out of the bed, but still
sit.
dragging her back in.
I'm gonna like push her down, and I'm gonna stand up. She came back, but she wasn't able to go anywhere. She was stuck in sort of a limbo in between this existence and anywhere else.
She's just got the blanket pulled up to her eyes.
She was terrified. And cold. And I didn't know what was wrong with her, so I called you. I thought you might be able to help.
Stetchen, are you any good at lighting fires?
I already lit a fire.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a fire in the
Whoops.
fireplace.
I did not notice that when I first came in. I was so preoccupied with other things. Where did you go? I'll ask Maybell. Also,
Nowhere,
Silme,
Mr. Kefris. I couldn't go anywhere. I didn't go.
where do you normally go? Where were you supposed to go?
A different plane.
And I'll give Silme a look and just... Where does she go? I'm also wearing only one of my red cords, by the way.
And is she technically a fiend?
Do you have
She's
any
a
sort of
thief?
like
Yeah, I'm a blood hunter.
divine sense,
Yeah,
or
I'm a blood hunter.
Explain to me what blood hunters
Oh.
can sense.
So I can sense fae, fiends, and undead.
Is that an action of some sort that you need to trip off, or is that just something that you know for sure?
It's I think it's a bonus action.
Okay, all right.
Seeing as she has a horn, she's blue, and I thought she was an imp before, I would probably detect at this point.
She blue?
now.
Wait, she's blue now?
She's
I
not
thought
blue.
she was blue.
Oh,
She's not.
good.
Oh, you said she was blue because she was so cold.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Pale.
where I got that from.
Pale.
Different
Like, normally
slew of
she's actually
problems.
quite flushed.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I would take 2 steps towards lighting a fire and realize the fire's lit, and then come up straight and then sort of reach out while they're not looking at me, just kind of reach a hand out and see if she actually is some kind of demonic familiar or whatnot.
Tell me everything that you can sense. It's Fae, Fiend, and Undead?
Fae, fiend, and undead, yes.
All right. You get a definite sense of undead.
Oh, undead? Okay. All right. Oh. He just says to himself, to no one in particular, and then proceeds.
Does he say that out loud?
Yeah, he says, oh, just kind of to himself. And then he reaches into one of his pouches and whatnot and pulls out the smallest of his notebooks and a little piece of charcoal and starts writing Limbo, Maybell, Undead, like probably in 4 different languages, like Celestial, Abyssal, Infernal, and Sylvan. So
Okay.
he codes it up. It's basically his notebooks are coded.
All right. At this point, Maybell has had so much attention paid to her right now. She is very uncomfortable. And Silme, like, you have seen her like this uncomfortable, and she should be like completely flush, like red in the face,
Yeah.
and she's just drained, like completely pale.
What do you need, Maybell? Do you need to rest? I've never seen you like this before.
I need people to stop looking at me, like right now.
All right, everyone, turn around.
I'll go get something for her to eat.
The girl is getting some soup.
A girl?
Yo.
What the hell?
And that girl shows up and she's got a mug full of like some sort of tomato-based wolf borscht.
Well, it's something. I will make sure I don't really need to do anything. She's going to give it to fucking Maybell.
She'll hand it to whoever takes it, honestly.
Silme will take it and Stetchen and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, little one.
Oh, I'm Arabelle.
Arabelle.
Yes, I understand this is going to be confusing, but that's what was written in the book.
Right. Would you mind stepping in the hallway for a little while? I know that she's had quite an ordeal, and so many bodies in here is a little uncomfortable for her.
Ah, I see. You want privacy. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna, and she like reaches over and grabs that card that she left on the chair, stuffs that back into her deck. So like, I'm just gonna go and stand out there, you know, again, a small girl, all on my own in the world.
You have Stetchen.
I'll go with her.
I'll be with you too.
Who are you? Hold
Uh,
on, let me check. And then she flips open her deck and she pulls out a card and holds it up against you like as though she's comparing like the pictures. And she goes, Myrmidon, underdog. You've got like a big, you've got a big enemy to face, but no matter how hopeless it looks, you're gonna face him anyway.
Huh.
You're really brave.
Ah, yeah, I like you. And he smacks Kefris in the shoulder.
Thank you. Who are you?
Oh,
you said
that
Arabelle, but
that wasn't a compliment. You're definitely gonna die.
What?
I mean, we're all going to die eventually, just not right now.
Yeah, only for you, it's gonna be your fault. And she turns around and walks out the room.
Well, if that does happen, that is for me to decide.
And some of us
Stetchen, go chase
dead.
after her. It's just she doesn't die.
I've got it. And he says,
I'm
and
gonna
some of
die.
us-
That child is going to witness it and realize how wrong they were.
And some of us are already dead. He says to no one in particular as he leaves the room and closes the door.
Do you think he meant
That is
Speedy?
odd. I don't know. He says so many strange things. Honestly, maybe he was talking to a ghost. Kefris, can you just give her a quick look over and make sure that... See what she needs. I don't know. You're the one who studied medicine. I don't know what I'm doing.
That doesn't mean I was any good at it.
Yes, but you know more than I do.
That is quite all right. I feel just dandy. And Maybelle's gonna hop out of bed.
No! Poof!
I will
Look,
look her
I am
over.
a trained alchemist and medicine.
You need to be by the little girl.
Oh, God, duty.
Oh my god, Bishop, you have no idea how to give people a little privacy. Here,
No.
first step, walk away from the door.
How would I know anything if I didn't listen?
Arabelle just starts dragging Stetchen away.
Okay, he goes with it.
All right. Maybelle, I am going to do some general checks. We're going to make sure that your reflexes work, that everything's fine. And he just kind of like sits on the bed next to her and says, "Is this all right? There needs to be a level of consent between a doctor and a patient in order for me to actually do anything. So,
Yes, let's just get this over with.
all right.
If it'll make the rest of you feel better, then fine, let's just do it.
All right. Let's begin, shall we? And he doesn't have any medical equipment on him. He is not proficient in medicine. He is, if anything, in his equipment, he's got a small hammer that he's going to do to, like, boop on the knee to see if the leg kicks up.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that happens, yeah. Her
Yeah.
leg kicks up and fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
You know, like, stretch out her arm,
All
check
right.
her pulse.
Give me a medicine check, medicine
Okay.
boy.
Medicine man, medicine fast as Kefris can. Oh, 15!
15. All right, she doesn't have a pulse.
And I'll feel. Like, I'll check the wrist. Nothing. I'll go, like, a little bit higher. Still nothing. I put my hand, like, underneath her jaw to feel like the jugular to see if there's any blood flow.
Mm-hmm.
Still nothing, and I promise I won't look, but I need you to take off your shirt. I will look at the back. You get a much better reading of a heartbeat through the back. And you do.
Maybelle's gonna make eye contact, or Silme's gonna make eye contact.
Maybelle, makes eye contact with Silme. And she will reach down to pull up her shirt, and then she'll just close her eyes really tight, and then she'll go, Kefris, I'm a devil! And we should probably go on break.
Yeah. Yes, you should.
Tradition.
So, I would like to say, first and foremost, the fuck magic users, goddammit! Some bullshit. But I would like to say thank you to Wings for DMing this game. This is great. Thank you to all of these other wonderful players for being here while I die inside. And we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or go to bit.ly/adventure merch where you can possibly pick up some merch for the store. Or if you use !Discord in our Discord chat, that will give you a link to be able to join us for all of the after hours goodness that you would expect from this game. So we are going to try and be back shortly, so don't go no place, and we will see you guys then. All right, everybody. Bye-bye! Hello, everybody, and welcome. I have not felt any better over this break as to the things that I just found out, which is apparently Maybelle's a devil. So, Kefris is just going to very quickly, open-eyed, what? And then
we're gonna
look at her and look at Silme. That's what I want to do.
Okay, we'll jump right back into it with Stashin downstairs. Stashin, you're hanging out with Arabelle downstairs. You're both kind of bellied up to the bar. And Danica has brought each of you some wine, and she has watered down Arabelle's wine a whole bunch. And as you're sitting there, Bartholomew will walk in the front door. And Bartholomew, Stashin is sitting next to a girl that you've never seen before.
Do I notice him?
Yeah.
Oh. Yavo. Hello. Speedy.
Von Andrell.
So the wine is pretty good.
There is a local winery. We get everything from there. Though I am kind of troubled about something I heard earlier. I need to talk to my dad later.
And Danica, the innkeeper, Danica Mardikov, that's her name. She will walk up and plunk down another glass of wine and look to Speedy and say, "Oh, hey, Bartholomew. The usual?"
Please.
Yeah, she'll push that wine towards you. We're running really low.
Has there been no new shipments?
No, we haven't heard anything from the winery. Oh, also, have you seen that Ricktavio guy?
Ricktavio?
Yeah, the outsider, like the weird circus dude.
Do I remember him from yesterday?
You remember him from that one time when you noticed that he was overhearing Silme's talking about the bones being missing.
Yeah.
And then you talked to another hunter to say, keep an eye on him. And the hunter was all like, oh, he's harmless. But you also recall seeing him yesterday warding off vampires while the rest of you ran.
The half-elf.
I saw him last night, but we parted ways.
Did you? Because I haven't seen him since then, and usually he's back by now. I've got his basket ready and everything. She lifts a basket.
Goodies for the road?
Well, it's goodies for his horse and whatever he keeps in that wagon. And she pulls open the basket and shows you there's a couple of apples and just an entire raw steak. She puts that back down.
I'm sure he'll turn up sometime today.
Honestly, I'm worried about him. Have you seen the guards?
Yes, they're agitated for some reason.
And there's been rumors about vampires in the city.
Well, let's hope they don't start burning the place down.
Generally, they don't like fire.
Oh, I was talking about the guards.
Oh, yeah. Let's not talk to them. And he shrinks up and pulls his coat up around his neck.
Von Andrell, are the Malrezkas still at the church?
No, they're upstairs with the imp thing. In the maid's clothes. There's the imp with the horn and that's other.
Oh, it's not an imp. That's their caretaker, Maybell.
So, okay.
Whatever she is, she's a liar, Arbel says, flipping through her deck.
And what would you know of liars, little one?
Oh, plenty. And she will flip a card out of the deck and look at Bart. And she'll go, the druid. Careless ambivalence of nature.
You use some very big words strung together that I do not know. Ambivalent?
He pats her on the head and chuckles to himself.
I don't think those words go together the way you're putting them together.
I am very mature for my age.
And suddenly, when she says that, Stetchen sits up straight and takes a hand and puts it yay, and detects undead Fae and
On Arbel?
Yeah, he's just suddenly, when she says I'm much older, blah blah blah. Genuine freaking fear, and he detects on the little girl.
Amazing. As human as the day she was born.
Okay, because underneath,
absolutely nothing off of her,
right,
but she does give you a weird look.
Underneath his cloak, he grabbed his stake.
Mm-hmm.
He's about to stake the little girl in the bar.
Just in case.
Yeah, but he just lets the stake drop back into its pocket. And
I'm going to go check on the Malrezkas. And Speedy leaves his bag at the bar and takes his cup of wine upstairs.
Yep. As you are heading up the stairs, you hear a familiar squeak coming from that room. And it sounds suspiciously like, Kefris, I'm a devil! And Kefris reacts by...
I'm sorry. What?
Maybell looks to Silme and back to Kefris again.
And I'll look at her, and I'll look at my sister, and then look back to Maybell, and there is just contempt just in the quick shot stare to the sis, and then...
It's my fault. I when I was first practicing and learning, and I found a spell that would allow me to summon a creature.
I'm going to stand up, and I am going to go to the door.
Kefris, please don't leave.
You are my sister. You have been doing the thing that we don't speak about in this town. It is a recent development, and Maybell is your maid. She is your handservant that Mother hired to take care of you. So why is it so hard to say? And he turns and he just has tears in his eyes. That's the truth, isn't it? That's what everyone's been telling me. That's what you've said. That's what Maybell said. That's what Mother said.
Kefris, you have to understand.
That what? You're keeping things from me. You were all keeping things from me.
You were away for 5 years.
You don't think that it could have come up in a letter?
What am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to say exactly that. I did some stupid things.
It wasn't stupid.
Maybell, you're very nice, I'm sure. But sister, you summoned a devil. On accident. That's not an intelligent thing to do. That is a stupid thing to do.
Kefris, what was I supposed to do while you were gone? What did you expect of me? You got to go off on your own and be your own person. I was stuck in the house by myself.
And look at how that got the two of us. I got sent out, and I got set to fail, and you got to stay behind, and you got to succeed at whatever you put your mind to. That's what I wanted. I wanted that you did exactly the thing that you are doing right now. It's just very difficult to come to terms with because I didn't see it being this. I thought maybe you would go into the church like Father and I did, that you would become a doctor, that you would do something.
Do you really think that Mother would have let me do those things? Mother trained me to be married off.
And do you think Mother knows that you've been doing magic? Or is that one of those things? Well, then why couldn't you have kept another thing from her that wasn't fucking magic? You could have had just another somebody else that you were in love with instead of the man that Mother said that you were to be in love with, and you could have gone and done that. You could have been a doctor. You could have been a great doctor. There's still time.
I didn't want any of that. When I studied magic, it felt good. It felt like something that I could have for me. And I don't want to find another man to go be with because I don't like men and I don't want to be with a man, and every time I've tried, it doesn't work that way with me. And yet I still had to be married off because Mother wanted it. And all I had was Maybell. What was I supposed to do?
And he looks at Maybell and just says, I don't know. What can she do? Wings your Maybell.
What do you...
And he's just looking directly at Maybell at this point.
Mr. Kefris, I'm sorry. If I thought that it were safe, we never would have lied to you.
really don't have anything in this place. Ever since I left the church, I've had nothing. And I thought that I had family. I thought that I had my community. But you lied. Both of you. To so many people.
Maybelle is going to stand up out of the bed and start walking over towards Kefris and say, I am sorry, Mr. Kefris. I'm sorry that we lied. But mostly I'm sorry that we had to lie.
I don't know what to say to you. Because I honestly don't know you.
Listen, you can be mad at me, but that's your sister.
She is choosing to be the person that she wants to be right now. I would like for her to still be my sister. And he shoots you a glance, Silme, and says, but if she chooses to be otherwise, it's entirely up to her. I am going to go now. And I would like it if you both didn't follow me for a little bit.
And Silme will back away and give him room.
Thank you. And he will just... Tears are streaming down his face at this point, and he just puts on the customer service smile, not bothering to wipe the tears away, and just says, Maybelle, sister. And he will then exit. Very quickly find his way to the streets because he needs to wander.
I think that you almost run into Speedy. Speedy was on his way upstairs.
Speedy was on the way upstairs. Is it like a sort of like banister situation where it's like
Yes.
looking over,
Yes.
like the bar?
Yes.
He's like leaned over the railing with the cup to the side. He's heard everything.
Yep.
Lets Kefris walk past by him, turns and looks in the room, and if he can, locks eyes with Silme. And he motions his head over to Kefris and just follows behind him.
She nods, acknowledging that he is going to follow.
You're muted, Greybeard.
Stetchen and Arabelle are at the top of the stairs, and as Kefris comes by, he gives him way, but he also says to him, he says, you do have something here. You have destiny.
He's not even going to...
I know, it's great.
It's not even going to turn around, but you notice that the top knot on his Ilmater bonds is starting to come undone.
And then Stetchen will kind of soften and say to Speedy as Speedy comes by, try to take care of him, but it'll work itself out. Come on, little one. The ladies won't appreciate our company now. And I'll take Arabelle's hand and walk back down the stairs.
Yep. And Arabelle normally has kind of a know-it-all sort of attitude, but she realizes the weight of this situation is kind of above her pay grade. So she just kind of is willing to take the back seat, like, okay, I'm gonna step back and actually be a kid here.
And that's why he leads her away.
All right. Well, that was a lot to unpack. What's everybody gonna do now?
Find an abandoned house and go into it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That is what my plan is. Other people
And-
can have their plans too. That's just
Bartholomew, you're gonna tail him.
I'm gonna tail him once he enters like an abandoned house. He'll wait outside.
All right. Silme and Maybell are probably gonna talk for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Stashin and Arabelle are going to.
I guess play cards or tell more fortunes or something. We're kind of waiting. We want to see if or at least Stetchen wants to see if we can get company taking her back to her village.
Okay.
In these companions, but if not, well.
All right. So I'll say that you guys go back downstairs and find a table. And Arabelle is pretty quiet for the first time since all of this started happening. And she will say, okay, wow, that was heavy.
Yeah.
I really need to go home, but there's a thing.
It always is.
So, I deal with these and stuff, and she like picks up her deck and kind of starts shuffling it nervously. But I also have dreams and visions and things.
And in Stetchen's vision, some of the ghosts, as she says this, kind of start looming in on her, like, ooh, maybe she's a medium. Maybe we can talk through her. Like they start getting near and near her, and he's like, "Afraid of ghosts." He waves over her head at nothing. It's back. I'm sorry, little one, and he pats her on the head. Sometimes they get forward. They lose their manners.
I mean, I'm kind of used to it. There's a lot of ghosts and stuff here. And I've got like the whole like bloodline, important destiny, whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's somebody here that wants to kill my family.
That's the thing. They want to take out those who can see ahead and behind. And
yeah, I mean, like, for whatever reason. A lot of people hate Vistani around here.
fools.
And I'm concerned that if we just go back, we're going to be leading them straight to them.
Yeah, you are pretty colorful. I mean, I can disappear, but making you and the trail you leave would be hard.
Yeah, laying low isn't really in my forte.
He just starts to laugh to himself about it. We'll see. Maybe our companions can help with this. Oh, maybe the half-elf can help with this. We may need to find him.
What are you talking about?
The man with the cart and the monster in the cart.
monster.
Yes. I'm sure that someday I will have to put it down.
And as you say that, let's cut to Kefris. You're just wandering down the street trying to find a abandoned home to slip into and lick your wounds, as it were. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. Wow. Yay me. That's a 19 on the dice, so
Wow.
a total of 21.
Wow. Wow, your intelligence is a lot higher than I thought it was.
No, it's not. I rolled really high.
Okay. So you are able to sort of triangulate a pretty abandoned area. It's closer to the place where the coffin maker's shop was, and I'm pretty sure that you go right by it as you're trying to find a place. Like you keep on walking, and you keep on seeing houses that look lived in, and before you know it, you walk right by the coffin maker's shop, and you can see that there are a bunch of guards just kind of swarming around it, and there's a plume of smoke coming out of it. There's no sign of any vampires or anything, but it seems like there's some sort of investigation going on there. And you continue, and Bartholomew, you will also see this since you're tailing him. Are you trying to be stealthy about this?
I've given him a berth, like several feet.
Okay.
I got a 2 on my perception, so
Great. You should probably roll, because you could roll a 1.
I also got a 2 for my stealth, but what is my stealth? My stealth is a +5, so it's a 7.
Okay. So you're able to tail him pretty well. He is none the wiser. And you also see that gutted building. And eventually, Kefris, you find a building that has like boards up over the windows and doors and things. And there are dust on the windowsills. You can see cobwebs inside the building. You can tell that it must be pretty well abandoned. So how, like, do you just like rip out a plank out of one of the windows and just crawl in like a wounded, like a sad wounded puppy?
Yeah, that is what he is going to do. He doesn't care.
Okay.
And once he gets inside, he is going to find a corner to sit in, and he is going to sob for probably a couple minutes, handful of minutes, because then that sobbing gets more exasperated as he's kind of reaching the point of running out of air, and he's actually going to go into a rage. And he's just going to start smashing the inside of this home, repeating the same phrase, nothing, 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 over and over and over again as he continues to smash. As he had mentioned to Irina, the third tie on his armband had come undone, and as he continues to swing his maul, the rest of his cords just also kind of fall away. In order to deal damage, or in order to stay in the rage, he also has to deal damage to himself. So I'm going to do that.
All right.
You have to deal damage to something.
Oh,
or
if it's just
get hit.
something,
Yeah, you are attacking things technically
yeah.
here, so
then I'm going to just be doing that. I'm just going to be destroying the inside of this abandoned house.
okay. Okay. You do that, and you just bust up this house. Speedy, what are you doing? Are you just standing outside the house and just kind of listening to carnage inside?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
15.
15. Okay. All right. As you're watching, you you see a chair fly out a window, and then afterwards you see a shape just kind of drop out of that same window. And then that shape will kind of drag itself off the ground and start limping away.
It's not Kefris, is it?
Definitely not Kefris.
He gets low and follows stealthily.
Okay. You turn a corner, and you have a sword pointed in your face. And it is the man in the red coat, and he looks bad. And he kind of peers over his spectacles at you. He's a half elf, and he looks at you and says, "Okay, you're not following me to kill me, are you?"
It depends. Have you been bitten thrice already?
He will take his sword and kind of wipe it on his sleeve and then put it back into his cane. And then he just sort of leans heavily on that cane. And then, like, when that's not enough, he just leans against the wall.
Speed will scoop his arm underneath the man's to support him.
It's nice to see that you're willing to return the favor a little bit.
Here in Vallaki, we have many kindnesses. Repaying a favor is one of them.
Hopefully I won't need many more kindnesses. And like he has his, you couldn't really tell at first because of his red jacket, but it is just like soaked with blood.
That guy has the right idea. He's wearing the brown pants.
Friggin'.
Bartholomew will take a hand and put it to this man's chest and cast Cure Wounds for 7.
Oh, thanks. I was out.
This thank you for last night.
Yeah, well, you needed help.
Can you make it back to the inn?
I don't know if I want to be there right now.
Why?
It's a little awkward, you know. Old friends. You're helping those outsiders.
Yes.
He kind of nods to himself. You saw Madame Ava?
Yes. They had their cards read.
And he nods to himself again. I figured. He is gonna push himself off of you and say, there is a monster that's stalking around the streets right now. And if it isn't stopped, people are going to die.
Do Do you know what it is? Where it is? Why haven't you told any of the hunters?
Because they're going to kill it. And I would prefer if it didn't die.
Am I smart enough to... Your cart.
He nods.
What are we dealing with?
Saber-tooth tiger.
You put together two words that I don't think go together.
Technically, that was 3.
Hyphen.
Sure.
I don't know.
I don't know if this is the time to be discussing semantics.
If it's on the streets and the hunters catch wind of it, they will hunt it and they will kill it.
That's right. It won't hurt anyone. Not anyone within the walls, at least. It's just trying to find a way out.
How sure are you? Because when we passed by your cart, it kind of made that thing jump.
Well, she's feisty, but she means well. But she's trained for a very specific purpose. She's not going to hurt anyone within the walls.
And what is that purpose?
That is for me to know, and you to hopefully never find out.
Something... Okay. This better pay.
Listen, if I survive, and that saber-tooth tiger survives, you'll get paid more than you're probably expecting.
Okay. Hold on. And he'll go to... I'll give him my address.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him you're a friend of... Tell the woman there you're a friend of Bartholomew and you're in trouble.
I hope more than one of those things is true.
That you're a friend of mine, or are you in trouble? Because you are kind of in trouble, friend.
Oh, I'm very much in trouble. I'm just hoping that I actually am your friend. And he'll clap you on the shoulder and limp a little bit away with his cane. And then he'll turn around briefly and say, that boy you met last night, the one with the white hair, is he all right?
He's fine. He's back at the inn, drinking, playing some cards.
Okay. And he looks relieved. And he will start walking away.
Speedy will walk back to the house, take a peek inside. You're muted, son.
My rage only lasts for a minute, so at this point I am just, like, back to being mopey.
Or like curled up on the ground.
Speedy crawls in. He's pulling a wineskin off his belt and drops it in front of Kepris.
Kepris will just slowly turn his head up towards whoever came in. He heard footsteps, but he did not pay attention. And he just looks at you and just... Thank you. He'll grab the wineskin, uncork it, and have some wine. And then offer to share with Speedy.
There is a dull, like... It's a soft thunk as Speedy just, like, drops on his butt. sits down, takes the wineskin.
There's nothing left here for me, is there?
What do you mean?
When you'll take the wineskin. When I left to the temple, I gave up everything that I could from my past life so that way I could be the best acolyte that I could. But it turns out I was very bad at being an acolyte. So I kept trying. I kept trying to do my best. And eventually, I did pass the classes necessary to at least talk openly and freely about the deity that I worship and wear the right robes. And then I went home, and my mother said that I was to take my sister north. That we would be taking her handmaid along with us, and that we were going to go and see her off to a new life. And then we came here, and nothing I did mattered before coming here, it feels like, because I've been losing myself. I've been losing my ties to back home. The two people that I came here that I thought I could trust more than anything have been lying to me for years about a thing that they know would hurt me. And our maid's not who she... It's been a rough couple of days. But, as you are all very quick to mention, and he raises the wine up, says, "Welcome to Barovia," I suppose. Takes a long pull. Hands it over to you.
He takes a sip. After finding out what you found out about your sister and your maid, does that change them in any way to you, outside of them being liars?
Yes. She's still my sister, but there's a difference between handmaid and devil I tricked into a contract. If she had just expressed it as wanting to go to school or something else, and gotten the right training, maybe that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been happy with it. But at least I know that she would be safe. And now that we're here, and not only is she lying to me about it, but she's also full of herself when she does. That's not the person that I knew. But it's like she said, 5 years is a long time. And I heard in lecture that everyone is made up of cells. These tiny, minuscule things, and some die and some regrow, and over time, the cells that you have on your person are completely different than the ones that you had in the past, so maybe she's right. She's still my sister, but she still is a completely different person.
Speedy hands the wineskin over. I.
They won't
It
even
feels like.
say what Maybell is. They say devil and leave it at that. There is a classification, there is a rule system set in place for those kinds of creatures.
Oh. Maybe the three of you should have a talk and not an outburst.
That's all I seem to have been having since getting here, isn't it?
Do I know that Stretchin and Kefris were talking all night?
No, you passed the fuck out as soon as we got
you went
home.
straight to
Yeah.
sleep. You have no idea.
That's why the sooner we find a way out of here, out of Barovia, maybe the sooner things get fixed for you, at least. He gestures to the entirety of Kefris.
And if we left, would you come with us? You said that you had family here. Would you stay or would you leave?
I have family here, but there's always been some feelings inside of me, and one of them pulls me outside.
Then hold on to that. Because right now, that's all I really have left as well. I want to see the ocean again. And from what Maria, he'll kind of give you an exaggerated look, has said, you don't know what that is either.
We have lakes, we have rivers, but not oceans.
It is much, much bigger than a lake, and much deadlier, too. I'm sure you would love it.
Bartholomew gives you this, like, stare. Deadlier than the lakes in Barovia? The fuck?
And Kefris will just kind of stand up and stretch, kind of just sort of get himself back to a proper state of being, and he steadily begins wrapping one of his cords, his one cord left around his arm.
You might want to do that outside. You kind of busted the place up, and I don't know much about structural integrity, but that beam looked load-bearing.
Fuck. Yes, let's.
They run.
Yeah.
For thematic integrity, I just kind of want the house to fall down as they walk away.
And indoor
Hmm.
bonus stage. Rob went and gave a follow.
Yes, he did. Thank you, bonus stage Rob. If you're still here, this is what happens when people follow in Greybeard's on the channel, or if you're on Greybeard's channel.
What the man just said. I take this maul and I hit that guy right in the face.
Oh!
A miss.
This is the first. It
Yeah,
has to be
it is.
Tuesday. Too spoopy.
It hurts. It hurts. Just for that, you get 2.
Amazing. All right. So as you guys are walking along, just kind of bosom buddies, good pals.
Oh, by the way, Kefris, do you know what a saber-tooth tiger is?
Do I know what a saber-tooth tiger is?
And it's at about that time when you guys start hearing the screams.
I'm just going to assume it's whatever causing that. Let's go. I'm just immediately running.
Yes. All right. We're going to cut to Station. You're hanging out with Arabelle. And likewise, Silme, you'd be able to hear this as well. There is the sound of screaming people outside of the inn. And Silme, I'll say you can look out the window, and you can see that there is like a small mob of people running away from something, something coming from around the corner. And what you see is a creature about as tall as a horse. And whereas a horse would have, you know, like some empty space between it and its legs, or rather, you know, how they got like the spindly legs, you know, like some empty space between the meat of its body and the ground. What you see is like just more and more rippling flesh, moving beneath short fur. It's a feline shape, and it's crouched low to the ground, and it's just kind of stalking down the road. And like people are just screaming and pushing and shoving and like trying to give this thing as wide a berth as possible. And you also notice that it's wearing armor, like it's got spiked armor on. And it's just stalking down the street, and you see it lift its head up in the air, and like its head moves as though it's pulling in long breaths, and smelling something. And you see its head snap over towards the door of the tavern, and then it crouches and starts stalking again.
Oh shit! Silme says. And she's gonna vault over the bed and say, Mabel, stay here.
What's going on?
There's a creature outside that is heading this way. Close the door, lock it, stay here.
Oh dear. And she goes to look out the window as I'm sure you just start heading downstairs.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a slide on the rail.
Mm-hmm.
We had a big mansion. I did it all the time.
Yeah,
I got it down.
All right, you go sprinting down, sprinting across the balcony, and then you jump onto the rail and slide down. And you can see like there are like several people like running into the building and like you know, trying to find a place to hide.
Get upstairs! Get upstairs!
Session, you notice all of this commotion as well. What do you do?
You'll do no good here, little one. And he sort of does like a little spin dance move. He takes her hand to help her out of the chair and then sort of spins her away like up the stairs kind of deal.
Okay.
And then he pops his hat with a hand and twirls it onto his head. And in a flourish of his long coat, heads outside. Bonus action, he'll try to sense whether this creature is fey, fiend, or undead.
All right. This is a beast of some sort. It is fully mundane, but it is large. And it kind of like squints its eyes at you, and it gives you a sniff, and then it seems disinterested.
Whoa, kitty.
Good kitty, good kitty. And he looks over at
you follow Station out.
I was going to say.
I'm gonna be like in within the building, kind of just like maybe protecting the doorway if I can from the inside.
Okay. This enormous cat is going to sort of continue walking towards the inn, just sort of like stalking back and forth over towards the door where you're at, Silme. And it will get actually pretty close to Station, and it will sniff at Station again. And it will approach you, Station, but it's not really looking at you.
Okay.
It gets very close to you. Do you react in any way? You talk to it?
I'll start talking to it. Now, listen here. You are hunting something that is your life, your job, and you most likely have a master somewhere. For I doubt you could put on your armor by yourself. Now, I am a hunter too, but I hunt evil creatures. Whatever you are hunting, I will help you. But you can't attack anyone else.
All right. give me an animal handling check.
I used my bonus action. Otherwise, I could call on the ages of the knowledge of the ages.
I mean, we aren't technically in initiative right now. I'd be willing to allow this.
Okay, then I will do that to make sure that I am proficient in said animal handling.
Okay. Right. Silme, are you doing anything else?
Silme is very confused.
That looks like it was good.
She's going to basically, if this thing gets any closer, there's going to be things that she's going to do. She's going to try and scare it away from the door if it gets any closer to her.
Okay. All right.
20.
Is it 20?
Natty 20.
I figured. Nice. All right. So as you're speaking to it, kind of in a soft voice, you speak to it in the same way that you have seen your mentor speak to dangerous animals in the past. And like this enormous, dangerous predator looks at you, and it starts making a weird noise, like, and then it comes up to you, and it's about as tall as you are, like face to face, like it's like, and then it just like nuzzles into you and like pushes its head into your shoulder and just like it's like trying to get as much contact as possible, and it's just rubbing back and forth.
And I'll reach an arm like around and scratch behind its ears, and I'll say, that's okay, we can be friends, I understand.
Yeah,
and then
he'll even push like his enormous dumb cat head into your chest, and like it's almost like he's about to knock you over.
And then at some point I'll lower my glasses and look him in the eyes, like knowingly, like, you understand, you understand I hunt monsters too. I give him that look, the Dresden look, and then
are we okay?
I believe we're okay for now. And it's just a little bit of holy fucking shit in his voice. Like, I don't believe that worked. I thought I was a good man. But he's nuts. So
and he will lick you with like an enormous sandpaper tongue and like knock your hat off. Silme, you're standing in the door frame, right? What's your passive perception?
13.
13? All right, that's enough. He's not really trying to be stealthy about it. You notice a man kind of roll in through a window. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you just kind of give him an incredulous look, and it is a dude in a red coat, and he just kind of like he has like a pained look on his face as he pulls off this complicated roll maneuver, and he just kind of gives you like this like finger up to the lips, like, shh, don't say anything. And he will kind of sneak over to the bar and take that basket off of the bar. And then he will stand up and kind of realize that there's no point in sneaking anymore. And he'll just kind of like walk past you, and give you kind of like a look, like he'll even walk up next to you and just be like, hi.
Hello. Is this the guy from last night? Do I recognize him?
It is. You recognize him.
You. Thank you.
Don't thank me yet. And he's going to lift that steak out of the basket, and kind of like steel himself and then walk through the door and hold it up. And Station, the saber-tooth cat that is currently assaulting your face with sandpaper kisses, perks its ears up at the sight of this man in a red coat and will bound over to him, and he will hand that creature the stake and kind of rub its face.
Oh, you have found your companion. Good, good.
So we're okay now? Everyone's good?
I would hope.
I should hope so. And at that moment, the cat's ears perk up, and the man in the red jacket looks like confused and concerned for a second, and he looks at where the cat is facing, and the cat is locked eyes on something inside the tavern, and Silme, you trace that gaze up the stairs and to Arabelle. And she's just kind of standing at, like, watching between the banisters. And he looks at the cat and he says, "Oh, this isn't good. This
What?
isn't good at all.
What?
She's Vistana." And the cat growls.
Why is that bad?
"This cat's been specially trained to hunt Vistani."
You trained your cat to hunt Vistani? What kind of monster are you?
And then the cat lunges.
Bartholomew sneezes as he's running.
Time to roll initiative.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my
Honestly, not the worst case scenario.
You know, I thought it was gonna be.
I thought this was going to be, the other
Yeah,
first.
yeah. You know, this is
Yeah.
fine. What's one less Vistani, you know?
Whoa!
Oh!
Whoa there!
Oh.
All right, now I am starting to think that you don't have a soul. You were pretty convincing otherwise earlier, but now...
All of the deep cuts this episode. Gosh.
Stab.
I don't have him here. Oh my god.
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
Which now has an encounter builder, so you can have all of your monster stat blocks in one place.
Wow.
So nice.
That's
so nice.
crazy.
It's
Now-
crazy cool.
Indoor, is that a premium bundle kind of deal, or is it a standard feature?
Oh, it's a standard feature. You have to have access to the monster manual and to the others. But once you have those books, you can totally do it. I think
Nice.
it's more Cyberwolf specialty.
I'll send him a note.
Yeah. All right. Unless you still need us to keep plugging away. Because if you go to D&D Beyond or twitch.tv/indoor adventures, you can see the live updates of our stats. Just drag your mouse over to the user view profile, and all of a sudden you'll see tiny little head bubbles pop out on the left-hand side. Click that, bada bing, bada boom, you're seeing our stats update in live time. Blah, 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 blah.
Kick it, bro!
Drop the F-bomb.
Used to be.
We said, or do we need to like gush a little bit more?
You're specifically doing this to me, and I'm offended. Alrighty. See, I didn't know exactly what you guys might do. And usually I'm better prepared for encounters.
Oh.
But I think that I'm about ready. Has everybody rolled initiative?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Station. What'd you get?
9.
9 for Station.
9.
9.
24.
Damn.
Speedy bringing out the big numbers. Kefris.
4.
But
Great. Silme.
17.
Okay. Tiger.
I'm so used to Spider-Man comics that whenever anyone says tiger, I assume it's like a nickname for somebody, not an actual
tiger.
fucking tiger.
Saber-tooth tiger.
Pterodactyl.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, vote in the comments now what the saber-tooth tiger's name should be.
Ooh.
Spaghetti.
No.
That's terrible.
That is our name for our dog.
Alfredo.
Bonus stage Rob says
Clarence.
Clarence.
Chomps.
It's a she.
Clarence
Oh.
for her. LB said meatball.
Philip.
Oh, I love meatball.
It's a girl, Nickel.
Chomps.
It's a girl, Nicole. You guys are terrible. I hate everyone.
Clarencita.
I mean, it could be like,
What's the good news? I named my Nickel Philip. What's the bad news? It's a girl, Nicole. All right, Speedy, you're at the top of the round.
Clementine. I like that.
and
For a tiger.
You're walking down the street. You're good buddies with Kefris, and then you start hearing screaming. And you go running towards that screaming, and you witness everything that just happened.
Bleh.
Oh.
What do you do?
So that's what the saber-tooth tiger is.
It's a big one.
Yeah. He pulls out a dagger and then flips it so that it's pommel side.
Uh-huh. And then
And then he just looks at the guy, looks at the tiger, motions to the pommel, and then smashes it in his palm.
I don't think you guys have enough time to be making.
Can I use a full round action to do that?
Sure. Yes, you can do that.
I don't know what to do. I'm gonna hold my turn to see what happens.
And this guy, we're just gonna call him by his name, because his name is Ricktavio. And Danica told you as much earlier. He's like trying to hold the saber-tooth tiger back, and just kind of like he turns around and looks at you and says, "Yes, whatever, just do it." And now it's the tiger's turn. And the tiger is going to leap out of his arms and run into the building and start chasing after Arabelle, who screams and runs up the stairs.
Does he run past me?
Yes, of course he does. He technically triggers an attack of opportunity against you and Ricktavio, who's going to use his attack of I don't know. Can you attempt a grapple on an attack of opportunity?
No, I think it's just an attack, right?
Yeah, I don't think he attacks. I think that he just tries to hold her back and it doesn't work.
What
What would
Okay.
you like to do?
I got a 15.
15?
Yeah.
That does not hit.
Oh shit.
It's armored.
Oh right.
Oh, fucker. That's right.
Now, did it have to go past me? I mean,
You were standing next to everybody, yeah?
yeah.
All right. Yes, then you go ahead and do an attack of opportunity as well.
All right. I have not been told that this creature needs to survive in any way, shape, or form. So I draw my silvered sword and let him have it.
Okay. Let's see it.
Yeah, 14.
14 is a miss.
Yep.
Okay. That tiger goes running into the building. It's just smashing tables and chairs. Patrons are screaming and jumping out windows. Arabelle goes sprinting up the stairs. Silme, it is now your turn.
Jesus, how far away from me is it?
Well, it's trying to go up the stairs at this point, so I'm going to say
Yeah.
30 feet.
Okay, fuck. She doesn't know Kefris. Well, that's a terrible thing to say.
No, continue.
So if I cast a second level spell as a bonus action, I can cast a
Cantrip
cantrip.
as an action.
Okay, I am going to cast Misty Step. So Silme just vanishes from the spot, and she is going to try to put herself in front of the saber-tooth tiger, and then she is going to cast frostbite on him.
Her.
So he needs her. So she needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Nine probably doesn't do it.
Nope. So she gets 5 points of cold damage, and has a disadvantage on the next weapon attack before the end of its next turn.
Does it specifically say weapon attack?
It does specifically say weapon attack.
Okay.
But I would argue that
She's a
claws
living
are
weapon.
weapons. Yeah.
Okay.
Natural weapons.
Yeah.
Session, it is now your turn. Actually, on your initiative, Silme, expressly against your wishes,
Of course.
Maybelle comes sprinting out of the room, and will run up to you.
No! Get the child out of here!
That's what she does on her turn.
Jesus Christ. Maybelle! Okay.
All right. Stetchen, can I get between Arabelle and the saber-tooth tiger?
I'm going to say no because Arabelle has already gone up the stairs. Actually, I don't know. Last time we allowed you to do a cool acrobatics move to get past somebody and up the stairs. Yes, I will allow this if you can succeed in an acrobatics roll.
Will I still be able to cast a spell?
Yes.
All right, then I will indeed do that. Acrobatics. Come on now. 18.
18. That is enough.
All right. I'm used to leaping banisters and throwing myself out windows and stuff running from vampires. So he does that sort of coattails flapping and he grabs the banister and launches himself up and then steps over and kind of lands next to Silme and it's like, excuse me, miss. Sit! And I cast command.
Oh, interesting. Okay. What does he have to roll against
It
that?
is a wisdom save.
Alrighty. Wisdom save. And when I say he, I mean she. Because
She.
why is it? I don't understand why it's so hard for us to remember the gender of this tiger. Oh my god, that was a natural 20.
God damn it. I mean, deities, damn it.
Strahd, damn it.
Yep.
All right.
All right. I tried.
So you say, sit! And it goes, row!
Okay.
Just roars in your face. Okay. So that is you. Anything else? Do you have a bonus action you want to do?
I will call forth the spirits. So basically the veins in my hand turn black and white mists move from my hand to my sword, which is silvered, and it begins to glow with a white fire. That's my blood hunter blood right. Well, spirit right in this case. And it's counted as flame.
Oh, you know what's really funny? This guy has a bunch of spells, but none of them are at all useful for this situation. Okay. He's going to run in, and he does not look great. He runs and trips a little because of his limp, but he is going to, we're gonna call her Sasha. That sounds like a good tiger name. He's going to attempt a animal handling check at disadvantage because she has already smelled her quarry. And he's going to say, Sasha, sit! Yeah, that doesn't work. All right, so that's Ricktavio's turn. That didn't really work out well for him. Kefris.
All right. Well, so I saw.
Did you mark down you already used a rage for today?
Yeah.
All right, just checking.
Would you like to
I will rage. I will rage, but I'm doing it because I want to this time.
Okay. All right.
There's a difference.
All right.
And I am going to take a running jump and leap onto the side wall of the building. And then climb up the side of the building and enter into a top window. And I'm guessing that I would get into that second room with 30 feet of movement, but can I double move? Okay. I won't double move. Instead, I am going to fucking stab myself with my hand because I raged a turn too early. And if I don't hit something or something doesn't hit me until next turn, I lose it. So I'm going to punch myself.
Okay. I'm on board for that. So you climb up the wall, crawl into a window. There's the sound of a woman screaming, and then that door busts open, and Kefris has got his claw in his shoulder. Just so that you get an idea for the layout here, there is you go into the tavern, and off to the right on the wall, there is a set of stairs heading up. And then that second floor wraps all the way around. So from where you're standing, you're up on that balcony. But you could totally jump off the balcony and be right there on the stairs where you need to be.
Well, next turn, I suppose, because I had to use my own action to hit myself.
Okay.
Good
All
try.
right. All right. Cool. You know you can crawl up walls without raging. Anyway, Speedy, it's you.
How far in are they?
They are all on the stairs / balcony at this point. And you are still outside of the building.
How, would 40 feet of movement be able to get me in the building next
Do
to
you
the tiger?
have 40 feet? Oh, you're mobile, aren't you?
No, I can get 40 feet of movement.
Okay. I'm interested.
Okay. As a bonus action, I'm casting Zephyr Strike on myself,
Okay.
which grants me an additional 10 feet of movement. I think on my feet Sorry. I might be misremembering. I'm misremembering. Cool. Yeah, cool. Oh, wait, no. My walking speed is increased to 10 feet at the start of your first turn of each combat. Never mind.
Not yet?
Not yet. It should have been last turn, but I have 40 feet of movement now.
Oh, okay. And then?
He basically runner sprints into the building. Can he get up to the tiger with 40 feet?
Yes, with 40 feet you can do that. You're going to be standing right next to Ricktavio, essentially.
Jumps, brings the pommel down on the side of the tiger's head.
Okay.
Non-lethal damage.
Roll, please.
Does a 21 hit?
Yes, it does.
So 9 points of non-lethal damage.
Okay.
And I get to roll an additional d8, which is an 8. Because Zephyr Strike is pretty decent for action economy.
All right.
Points of force damage, sorry.
Okay. So you jump onto this tiger's back and bring down the pommel of your blade onto its head, and its enormous head just seems to absorb that damage. It definitely hurts her, but it did not knock her out like you were hoping it would.
What do they feed you? Did it just say food?
Oh, and now it's her turn. Okay, so Silme attacked her, and Sasha did not like that at all. So Sasha is going to bare her teeth and actually go for Silme. Here. Oops.
At disadvantage?
At disadvantage? Okay, sure.
Because I did the...
I mean, technically, the whole weapon thing, but I'll allow this.
It's a natural weapon.
Fair enough. I'm on board for it. I'm on your side here. I'm just mentioning the fact that I'm going out on a limb here for you. Lesser DM would rule this differently. So that tiger bares her teeth, and Maybelle says, "Look out, Miss Silme!" And she pushes you out of the way, and the teeth snap directly over Maybelle's head. And she ducks and she's fine.
Whew. You said over her head.
Yes, not on her head.
Okay. Yeah.
She ducks.
Yes,
There's
like
no
that.
head Maybelle, but then she like
Precisely
pops.
like does this tiger have multi-attack?
Turtle.
Probably. Claw bite or claw bite in 5th edition.
Doesn't say anything about that.
How about tail wag tail and I pet its belly?
Yeah, let me pet your belly.
Oh my god. All right. So that happens.
Yes.
Woof. Okay. It is now Silme, your turn.
Maybelle, get out of here! Protect the child! Protect the child!
Not on your life.
It's going to be your life that I'm worried about.
Better me than you.
And she is going to. You're so frustrating sometimes. She's going to cast a ray of sickness on the creature.
Okay.
Oh, I woke up the cats.
What do it gotta roll?
I have to roll.
Oh.
Oh wait. Oh no, it's a. I woke him up. It's a wait, okay. On a hit, make a ranged spell attack. I don't know why it says a Constitution. Okay, it is going to have to make a Constitution save if I hit, which I did so.
Okay.
Oh jeez. And I'm gonna continue to place myself. I'm gonna try and push Maybelle behind me.
Okay. This is that comic where like the two people keep on folding over each other to
Yes.
like nah.
And that's it.
It's did you hit?
No.
What'd you roll?
I think I rolled a 2.
Yeah, that doesn't hit.
No, it doesn't hit. I didn't think of
Okay, I'm sorry that I put you
Okay.
through that.
Thank you for putting me through that.
Okay, Station, it's now your turn.
He'll say something like, "You, amiable, both of you, leave, go, protect the girl." And he's brandishing a flaming sword, and he once more will say, "Now, kitty, sit."
And you're gonna give it another command?
Yep.
Okay. It's a wisdom save?
Wisdom save. Yep.
Okay. Well, that time it was not a natural 20. It was something else. How a 10 probably doesn't make it, huh?
No, it doesn't. Woo!
Okay. Kitty cat sits. Sasha puts her butt down on the stairs. And Bartholomew, I imagine you're still hanging off of her neck. But now like you're basically at a 90-degree angle to the ground. So like your legs are kind of kicking in front of Ricktavio and No, you jumped on. I was like, there's somebody else next to Ricktavio. That was you. Yeah, no, but so your legs are just kind of kicking in front of Ricktavio. Anything else, Station?
No, I cast the spell. Does it look like the two of them are actually going to move away to maybe protect the girl?
They are bickering right now.
Okay. I hold my ground.
The girl, however, has, by this point, gone into that room and shut the door.
Oh, Arabelle has run into a room and shut the door?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, then I'll stay right here for now.
How long does a command work?
I believe it's until the end of their next turn.
Okay.
So they take their turn doing the command, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if that's the end of your turn, then Ricktavio is going to attempt another animal handling check. But because of your command, this won't be at disadvantage.
Oh, good.
Ugh. That was a 3. Ricktavio, you suck at everything, don't you? He's going to be able to squeeze to the front and stand next to you, and he's putting his hands up kind of placatingly to to Sasha and like, putting his hands on her face and going like, "Stand down, Sasha, stand down." And her eyes are just trained on the door where Arabelle disappeared. And now it is Kefris.
Okay. So Kefris has hopped out of the door. He sees that Ricktavio, he's like the saber-tooth tiger is in chill mode right now.
She is sitting on the stairs, but like clearly staring. You know how like a dog looks at a treat while it's sitting and waiting to be given that treat?
Spaghetti's
That kind
look.
of like that eagerness. That's what's going on with her right now. Like she's just waiting for the command to go and get that snack.
I am going to go in front of the door that the snack is behind.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to take a readied action that if this thing comes towards the door, that I am going to bash it with my maul.
Okay. All right. That's reasonable.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't... Okay, so for rage, it is... Or if you haven't attacked since your last turn or taken damage since then. So I think my rage ends.
Not right now.
Okay, so it's...
You attacked yourself
last turn.
Right?
Yes.
So if you
Oh, so next turn. If next turn
Yes.
nothing happens. Got it.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Okay. Speedy. You are on Cat.
Has she sat, or is she in the process of sitting?
She is sitting. She will be done sitting at the end of her turn.
And Ricktavio is trying to calm her down.
Yes. Seemingly ineffectually. She's ignoring him completely.
Okay, well, we'll try it his way, I guess. Gonna just try and wrap my hand over her eyes, scritch her head, shush her.
You're gonna do an animal handling check?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
I have a dog. This correlates, right?
Sure.
Oh, 19?
19 is really good. You put your arm over her eyes to forget about that. You don't see that anymore. And you start like scritching her behind the ears.
Behind the ears, under the chin, whatever's more comfortable for me to stay on top.
Right. Okay. All right. So you get her behind the ears, and then when you start getting her under the chin, like she starts making that chuffing sound again, just
Okay. There's no one here. They are gone. You're fine. We don't need to beat you up anymore.
Yeah, she starts to calm down a little. She doesn't seem quite as eager to get up those stairs, and she seems a little more eager to get pets.
Get a steak.
Mostly scritches, actually.
Just like anyone who's here, get a steak from the kitchen.
Okay. So that being your turn, it is now Tiger turn. She needs to spend her turn sitting. And now it is Silme.
Silme is going to try her hand at animal handling. Silme is going to... It's empty. Let go. For all you audiocast listeners, I am feeding a kitten right now, and she's just holding an empty bottle in her mouth. Silme is going to ready a spell. She will ready an ice knife if this creature attempts to move past her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is why she's named after a vampire, by the way.
So Silme and Kefris have both readied actions. Speedy is giving her scritches under the chin, and it comes up on Steshen's turn. And Ricktavio looks over at Steshen and says, Steshen, she seems to like you. Do something.
Stetchen, I guess, will say, I can ward the little girl with the sanctuary, or I can try to get her to follow me out of here. Which do you believe would be the better action?
He says, go protect the girl.
All right. That's he'll go down the hall and he will cast Sanctuary on Arabelle.
Okay. Arabelle is behind a door right now, but I'm willing to allow this.
Okay. All right. Come with me, little one, if you want to live. Show yourself.
Amazing. And Kefris is standing in front of that door, so assuming Kefris doesn't immediately just like lash out at Steshen.
No, he's fine.
All right. So
if anything, I'll look at Steshen and just, where will she be safe?
Away from that monster. But I am going to cast a sanctuary upon her.
I can take her up high.
All right. Do it. And then we'll go into the room.
Okay. All right. The two of you bust into that room. And Arabelle is like standing on the bed. And she's like, oh, good. It's just you guys. And on Ricktavio's turn, he's going to try and placate Sasha like he's been so good at doing this entire time. But Speedy is helping, so advantage, I guess? Does that sound reasonable to everybody?
We'll take whatever we can get.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure you will. Okay. Ooh, it's a good thing you had advantage because that is a 1. All right. Oh, his wisdom's a lot higher than I thought it was. Yes, an 18 is going to be enough, I think. And Ricktavio puts a hand on her face, and then he is going to pull himself up onto her back, and kind of shove Speedy over. And as he does so, he kicks her in the side, and she starts sprinting up the stairs, kind of bounces off of the wall and bounds down into the tavern. And then she runs out the front door with Ricktavio on her back.
That was odd. And
as he goes, for a split second, his hat comes off. And Steshen, you see your mentor riding out on the back of this saber-tooth tiger. And he glances back at you and claps that hat back on, and the illusion goes back up.
All right. Stetchen chuckles to himself, almost under his breath. Such an old man.
And I think that's where we need to leave off for tonight.
Yes! This did not feel like we played a single game. This felt like a multitude of different Curse of Strahd games that we played today.
Holy shit, it's like HBO all over again.
It's Tuesdays. That's what we lock in for on Tuesdays is drama. So I would like to say thank you today for running this super spooky fucking game. Thank you to all of you awesome people who stopped by and chat and joined the Discord during our show. I'm very excited to get to know each and all of you. But Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and oftentimes stuff involving this channel. You can also find me here on Mondays playing Coriander the Elegant Paladin, but otherwise I'm going to be here on Tuesdays running Curse of Strahd every week, so long as I can. So long as I'm here, I'll bring the spooky times to you.
Yes. And RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Oh, hi. I'm RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life. And tomorrow, you'll catch me playing some Monster Hunter. Yeah. You can catch me on the Monday night game in the homebrew session. That's Caleb, the Shatterkai Cleric. And also, you can catch me on Sundays on Pro Restarters channel for, I was about to say Monster of the Week, Phase, which is our Afro-punk. God, what system do we run there? Jeez.
Cypher, and it's
Cypher
futuristic Afropunk.
Futuristic Afro-punk Cypher system, Pro Restart channel, 8 p.m. EST with LBHackEmUp.
Yes. Greybeard, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern. You can find me on my own channel Sunday mornings, where I, might wear some armor or wield a couple of saber-tooth tiger tooths, or play Darkest Dungeon, which is what I've been doing for a very long time because I love that game. 10 a.m. to noon on Sunday, and then at 5 o'clock on Sundays, you can check me out over on Encounter Roleplay, where we play Apocalypse When, which is an apocalypse world game, which again, LB's in that one with me. So we have a pretty good time there. I'm a gun lugger, so there's all kinds of good stuff to be done. So see me there. I don't think I'm going to be back next week here, right, Danae?
I don't think so. I think
all right.
This is where you make your leave.
All right, so you'll see me again here at some point. And but you can see me on Wednesday nights doing Saltmarsh, Ghosts of Saltmarsh over on Dammit Barry's channel, and we'll I play a different gunslinger there, so come check us out. And we love props. I love to play with toys. See you guys later.
All right, and LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me as Cat Mom. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. You can find me here Mondays and Tuesdays on the Indoor Adventurers channel. Mondays we play our homebrew campaign where I play Gwen the Halfling Barbarian, who sometimes gets thrown away with the goddamn trash. Wednesdays I play on Dammit Barry's channel and Ghosts of Saltmarsh as the Oyantu, the Triton. On Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I play on Encounter Roleplay's channel, the Apocalypse World system as Maggie, the Victorian character. And then at 8 p.m. we play on Pro Restarters channel, and I play in the Cypher system as Ophi, the Crazy One.
Yeah.
Multitasking.
Yes. And if you have made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hello. It is I, the Indoor Adventurer, your despicable host, I guess. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday here at twitch.tv/indooradventures. Like it's been said, we got our Monday game, which is our homebrew game that takes place in the world of mine own imagining, that you can see the map behind me every time I stream. Tuesdays, we got our Curse of Strahd game. Wednesday, we have our one-shot Wednesdays, which are also community days, where we try and get people from the community to either DM or playing games. I have an absolute blast doing it. Tomorrow, myself and Danae are going to be in a level 15 one-shot that's going to be in a friend's homebrew world. So if you are familiar with Jen/Laughmaker D&D, she will be the one running the game. I'm very excited for it. And then on Thursdays, we have our own Ghost of Saltmarsh game with Cyberwolf 1201, Kyle with an N, Where's My Dingus, and my good buddy Reeves. It is a fantastic time. I really enjoy that game so far, and I'm excited because 2 of them decided to look like the cover of romance novels. It's beautiful. And so are they. And if you feel like supporting the show in any way, shape, or form, you can either subscribe to us on Twitch using your own people dollars, or you can use Bezos bucks, since you get a free Amazon Prime. You get a free Twitch subscription with Amazon Prime as long as you link the 2 of those up. Then, of course, we have a Patreon, and our Patreon, I forgot to mention yesterday. We have an after show that we do, so if you are interested in joining us for the after show, you can come by our Patreon, and it will be up first thing tomorrow morning. But on the after show, we answer questions not only from each other, but from the community at large. So if you have any questions for us, feel free to ask them either in the chat or in our Discord, as we have a separate questions page set up. So if people are curious at all about anything, feel free to @ me, bro. And with that in mind, guys, thank you again so much for coming by today. Thank you again for running this game, because this is a good one. I was very excited about today. And we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!